CBS Radio brings you The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Ethel Bunce.
Oh, for Pete's sakes, there you are. Didn't you hear me yelling for you?
No, dear. I was sitting here listening to the 9 o'clock news. For heaven's sakes, look at you. Why are you racing downstairs dripping wet with nothing around you but a bath towel?
Because I was in the tub and I yelled and I yelled and I yelled at you.
And you're getting wet foot marks all over the living room rug, honey. Goodness, look at the stair cut. What did you want?
I wanted you to bring me the February issue of your Women's World magazine.
Why in the world do you want that?
Well, I want the next installment of a mystery story.
Why, you never read my women's magazines. How'd you have to start up a...
Look, didn't you suggest that I get in a hot tub and relax after weeding the garden so long and read something?
Yes,
well, all right, I did that. I got in the tub, and then I remembered I had nothing to read, so I climbed out again. I didn't want to come all the way downstairs, so I looked for something to read in our bedroom, you know.
Yes.
Well, you know, usually we have magazines and books piled up all over the room, seems to me, but of course, nothing there. And I was standing there dripping wet, and then there was nothing to read.
I'm sorry. Just today I picked up everything and sorted them and threw out.
Of course. Well, the only thing I could find was a magazine under the English ivy plant, so I grabbed that, and I leaped back into the tub. Well, I saw this story that was the only thing that looked interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know it was continued, of course. I wouldn't have started it.
Oh, I bet you that mystery? The man in room 412?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
yes,
it was the January issue. Now I want February.
Oh, it's marvelous. Goodness, I don't know if I have February. Well, go dry off. You've been in a hot tub long enough anyhow. I'll look for the next issue.
Have you noticed how often people serve dips at parties these days? Well, the perfect chips to dip are king-size style Fritos corn chips. The flavor is great, and they won't break at the slightest touch either. Fritos corn chips are made to munch.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips. It's not polite to smack your lips, but you can't help it with Fritos corn chips. Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos corn chips.
Honey, wake up, will you? I'm awful sorry to bother you, but could you talk to me just a minute? Darling, where is the June issue?
Why
Honey, I'm sorry to wake you.
Oh, what's the matter? You sick?
No,
You're sick? What's the matter?
No, darling, no. Shh. Where in Sam Hill is the June issue? The magazine.
Haven't you gone to bed?
No, I haven't gone to bed. I got trapped reading that darn continued
For heaven's sake,
story.
what time is it? 1:30? You're still sitting up reading my women's magazine?
Yes, I am, and I cannot find...
Well, you were dead tired when you came home from the office. And you worked like a dog in the garden. You were going to take a hot bath. You're going to go to bed early.
I know all that, but I told you I started reading this mystery story, and I didn't know it was continued, and I kept thinking this is the last installment I'll read, and then, of course, it says to be concluded, just at the crucial point. So then
Now, look, be sensible, dear.
So then I race around the place trying to find the next issue.
Are you a little touched in the head or something? It is 1:30. You have to go to work tomorrow.
I know that, but I just finished the May installment, and it says concluded in the June issue, and I can't find the June magazine. Now...
Well, I don't know where it is. I'll look for it tomorrow, dear.
Tomorrow? No, honey, for Pete's sake. Look, I've read 5 installments. Now, I've just gotten to the last one. I want to know how it ends.
Oh. Hey, you're talking about the man in room 412?
Yes.
Well, as I recall, it turns out that Grimaldi was a spy.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Love of Mike, I want to read it myself. Oh, honey, I am sorry. I really am, but I want to read it.
Don't you think you're being a little silly? It is 1:30.
I know,
It is 1:30.
I know it is 1:30, and nobody knows it better than I do, and I think I am being absolutely idiotic, but... Having read 5 installments, now I have 1 to go, and I certainly want to know how the darn thing ends. Now, where do you think the June issue might be?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I apologize. I do. I'm sorry to wake you, but I've looked everywhere. I found the March issue. I found the April and May down in the basement.
Did you go through all that pile of stuff in the basement?
All of it, yes. First of all, when I finished the
honestly.
February issue, I couldn't find the March. All I could find was April. See, well, I didn't want to skip a whole installment, so I went through another pile of newspapers and magazines, and finally I found the March issue. And I might add, one whole page was ripped out of that installment.
Well, I'm certainly sorry, dear. I probably ripped out a recipe or something. How'd I know you were going to prowl around the whole house months later, all night long, waking me up and... What are you handing me my bathrobe for?
Please help me look for the June issue. Oh, honey, I know I'm being impossible, but I have got to know who that mysterious man is in room 412.
Really?
And why Fanshawe was killed when I just figured out that he was the murderer. And what that Count von Richter just found in the secret desk drawer that made him catch the next plane to Switzerland, you know. He just...
You know, this is a side of your nature that I've never known before in all the years we've been married. All right, get my slippers out of the closet. I must say, I know how you feel.
Yeah, well, honey, I do. I feel ridiculous making such a fuss, but...
Oh, you're so funny. You're getting so excited over a mystery story, which is a marvelous story, but it isn't that good to lose sleep, dear,
It's
really.
just that I have got to know how it ends.
I didn't know you even read continued stories.
Well, I don't, but because I can't stand the suspense of waiting from month to month. As I told you, I wouldn't have started this one if I'd known that it was continued.
Well, it generally says something like beginning a new exciting mystery novel in 6 parts or something like that.
Well, if it did, I didn't see it.
Well,
Now,
it
come on.
always says
Help me look for the last installment, will you, honey, so I can get some sleep?
I just hope that I didn't throw it out.
Oh,
Well, I'm not sure.
Don't even say things like that. Well, come on, honey, please.
More from the couple next door in just a moment.
Aggie, your rug looks like new.
Shampooed it myself right on the floor.
And you said impossible.
That's when I was all tired out with nagging backache.
And muscular aches and pains.
And am I glad I took your tip about that? You said try Doan's pills.
Good advice. That's Doan's Pills, an analgesic and mild diuretic to the kidneys. Nagging backache, also headache, dizziness, and muscular aches and pains may come on with overexertion, emotional upsets, or everyday stress and strain. Doan's pain-relieving action is often the answer, and they also offer mild diuretic action through the kidneys. So if nagging backache is making you feel worn out, tired, and miserable, with restless, sleepless nights, don't wait. Try Doan's Pills, used successfully by millions for over 60 years. See if they don't bring you the same welcome relief. Get Doan's Pills today. To save money, buy Doan's Big Economy size.
You gave it away? They gave it away, the June issue?
Yes, there's no sense looking all over for it anymore. I just remembered when Mrs. Tenney was here cleaning, she asked if I were through.
Well, of all the darn fool things to do.
Now, you just calm down.
Well...
What is the matter with you? You know, lately your disposition is terrible. You lose your temper over nothing.
Well,
lately.
I'm sorry. I really am. Forgive me. I know it. I think it's because of this darn diet we're on. I get hungry, and I'm so sick of counting calories. All I think about is food.
I know. Me too. We did agree we should take off a few pounds, honey.
I know. I'm sorry to snap at you like that. I really am. Well, look, honey, tell me how the story ends, will you, so we can get to bed and get some sleep.
Well, turn off the hall light here. Let's get upstairs. Grimaldi was working for the Count who didn't know the papers were forged when he gave them to that woman at the railroad station. The real papers were hidden in a shack at the bottom of the ski lift.
Yes.
And it was the skiing instructor who was in cahoots with the man with the scar on his face who was posing as Monsieur Le Chambray.
Yeah.
And he only pretended not to know, that sort of stupid desk clerk.
Yes.
Well, actually, the desk clerk wasn't stupid.
No.
He was really the mastermind.
The desk clerk?
Yes, really the mastermind. And it was he who exchanged the room keys.
Well, who turned out to be the man in room 412?
There wasn't any. That was the whole point.
There wasn't?
No?
What do you mean?
Oh, yes. Yes, there was.
Yeah.
Well, now, wait. It was quite an unexpected twist. Oh, it was very clever. Now, wait a minute. Well, honey, it's been so long since I read it. You know that The June issues of things always arrive the end of May.
Can you get the magazine back from Mrs.
Well,
Kenny?
I'll ask her. She hasn't thrown it out, dear. I'm sorry.
Well, it's not
very-
your fault. Oh, golly, I could kick myself. Look at the time. It was at 2 a.m.
Of course, I won't go to sleep now trying to remember the end of the story. If I think of it, shall I wake you?
Oh, yes, please.
All right.
The Couple Next Door stars Peg Lynch and Ethel and Bunce.